Okay, so I really had to talk about this character, Connor Kent, right? Who I was introduced, be honestly, on the Titan series, but fascinating like character if you're familiar with him. This guy here is a hybrid clone of Lex Luthor and Superman. Essentially, these guys make a baby together, right? This is not science fiction. This is a union.
Two daddies, two daddies.
And I needed to talk about this because this is messed up on so many levels. Like, on so many levels, is this absolutely a crazy story. I'm going to get to the main part of it, and I may jump around a little bit, so forgive me, okay? But first of all, like, Lex Luthor essentially, you're two daddies with Superman, like, or you're the baby mama, or I don't know, like, you took all the initiative to this, like, somewhere in your noodle, you said, I want to mix my DNA with Superman, and I know that people are like, he's a scientist, he's clinical, he's trying to recreate himself, but essentially the idea of combining your DNA with another being goes right to the heart of reproduction, right?
Oh, yeah.
A procreation, should I say. This goes right to the heart of procreation, and procreation is sex.
Giggity.
There's not any other way that we can get around this. So in a way, like, and we know that Lex has this very long and very detailed fixation with Superman. Like, it seems to me, and I could be wrong, that his entire company only works in weapons that can fight Superman. That's it. I mean, I guess he does some defense work for governments, but it seems like you make a full line of like kryptonite weapons. You are obsessed with Superman on levels I don't think we've ever seen. Loki found other stuff to do. Okay, the Joker was running a whole crime organization, right? Like, they weren't singularly focused on, you know, their enemy in this fashion. So we're just seeing the extension of this. Like, what we're seeing right now is that it becomes an erotic rivalry in a sort. Lex is focusing on Superman's strength, his purity, his moral ease, and it stopped being pure hate and turns into this like libido energy. This is a mix of rage and longing. Luthor wants to destroy the thing that exposes his own inadequacies, and he wants to possess it. Like, the cloning plot literalizes that. He finds a way to merge bodies with the object of his obsession. That's why it's significant. This is how obsession behavior works. Like, the boundaries between admiration and erotic compulsions a lot of times erode. So this idea of creating a child together becomes like the symbolic sex. Like, Lex consummates a relationship because that he can't win. It's like, it's a very weird, like, he can't dominate Superman physically or morally. So this is the next best thing that he can do. He interjects himself literally into Superman's myth by creating this hybrid baby that is an ultimate act of this control. That it's weird. Like, you may never love me, but you'll never be free of me type of mentality. And that's where it comes like very much sideways. So when we're looking at this, like, this is the same, you know, current that produces both love and aggression. Like, this mind frame, like this love-hate thing is, you know, interconnected. So his fascination with this ideal that he'll never match, like Superman's this thing that because of Superman's greatness, it makes him feel small. That's where it comes from. And now it becomes this hate. So, like, and the love-hate component of this relationship is 100% provided by Lex, right? This is 100%. Like, over time, I'm sure Superman doesn't like him because of the stuff that he did, but Lex himself generated his own hate for Superman. There was nothing that Superman did that would turn Lex into this type of obsessive hatred. You know, a lot of times when we see comic book stories, I always like to ask, when we talk about the villains, what did you do to make them do this, right? Because that explains a lot. But in this case, like, uniquely, like, very rarely, we can't point to any wrongdoing that Superman just existed, and he was a great hero, and we know he was the Boy Scout, and that's what Lex hated. So that's a weird component of all this. So at the end of the day, like, what I'm seeing is, yeah, we're having a baby together because you wanted that.
It isn't fine. It has two daddies.
And, you know, so that's the take. That's really, really way out there. Okay, the other component that I wanted to talk about is this also deeper meaning, because what they're doing is they're creating life without a woman. right? Now that is a thing, and it does happen in mythology. But when we look at those cultures, like we'll talk about them, like Zeus gives birth to Athena from his head, right? So intelligence created intelligence. So there was no woman required, and we see, but you produce this female deity. Frankenstein, births things from dead matter. This is a man playing God. I think if you look at the Abrahamic, or at least the Christian beliefs, there again, their Holy Trinity, there is no female presence. But in, I think a vast majority of mythological systems, we typically see a dynamic with male and female energies being on both sides. So it's very rare that circumstances that you really give that up. So that's kind of an atypical story.
Two daddies, two daddies.
The idea of two men coming together to create life, that's a very different dynamic. So
Look at the freak egg. It has two daddies.
we're looking at it through a very rare lens. So I think this Connor Kent, or Connor Luthor, whatever he's going to go by, this Superboy, whatever he's called, he's an interesting character unto himself. But I really want to just focus on the motivations behind Lex and what his obsession has led him to ultimately be. And man, this is a lot because I'm seeing this obsession ultimately turned into this craving, and you manifesting this, and it being without a woman. It says a lot about what's going on there, and the real nature of getting into their relationship. He's a reflection of them. And then think about it, your baby, you're seeing your clone with your DNA, and it looks like Superman, right? So that's got to be a little bit of well, it didn't even come out looking like me. It is Superman's genes were still dominant here, although he has your intelligence. It seems like your memory, at the end of the day, you didn't. So his genes still won out. So I don't know. There's a lot to unpack, but man, that's a head scratcher right there, man. This whole Lex and Superman. Lex is now Superman's baby mama, I guess.